So the United States needs to chill out and just let them fight their fights, fight their battles, fight their own battles. Yeah, that's why
I feel like the United States doesn't get involved in wars and shit unless it's going to indirectly or directly affect the United States.
It's
like they know damn well invading Ukraine was going to eventually affect the U.S. because if Russia got control over Ukraine, then they become like that. Like
they
Russia's
become
basically
even
our
that
problem.
much more powerful. Ukraine right now is fighting an enemy that the West doesn't have to fight to later. It's in our interest, in everybody's interest, to make sure Russia is right where it is.
If we, at the end of the day, it's just like preventing the future. Like at the end of the day, we're going to go to war.
What future are we preventing? Russian imperialism?
Russia. We're going to fight Russia.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day,
so would you
we
want?
are fighting. We are indirectly fighting Russia right now.
Yeah, it's a proxy war. That's just what happens.
So it's like
this has been going on since the dawn of human civilization.
So
people fighting proxy wars.
When is Russia and the U.S. actually going to start fighting?
Never. Hopefully never.
That's cap. Because
what do you mean?
They're fighting. They're fighting right now, pretty much.
A proxy war is not direct conflict.
You mean like a direct war? Like when are they going to start fighting a direct war?
I feel like we're going to have to fight a direct war.
Probably eventually, but like no time soon. I don't think. Like it would be really stupid on both parties to get into a fight with each other. Like it's just going to cost too many like resources and shit. Like why would Russia ever invade the United States?
It's not even Russia. Killed. When I look at Russia, I just think like Putin. That's Putin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Putin will. Putin don't care.
No.
Putin's about to die. Putin's on his last breath. He'll start a war if he wants to start a war, bro. He's not gonna be here to like live through it. So does it really matter? If Putin was on his deathbed, was like, yo, send off that nuclear strike.
The way the nuclear strike work in Russia is that the president doesn't really give the command. Each individual Russian officer has the keys. So they choose.
This nigga Putin literally kills everybody that does not listen to him.
That's not a good thing. You think that breeds success?
That's what I'm saying.
Being like,
that's what I'm saying.
He's been sacking his generals left and right because of the failures in Ukraine. That, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he only has a handful of officers left.
Yeah, exactly. So who's gonna stop him if he's killing everybody that doesn't listen to him? Nobody.
Hopefully the Russian citizens, when they get sick shit at this war.
They be shooting them niggas, though, whenever they protest.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. I
feel
like Putin is...
Russia's went through several revolutions, and that's what led to the Soviet Union, and hundreds of thousands of people died in that. So...
Josh, how you feel about the overpopulation of China?
What do you mean, how do I feel about it?
How do you feel about it?
Such a left field question. It's just is. I don't know how to describe it.
So you're indifferent to it. You don't care about it.
You don't care?
No, not necessarily.
You don't care about those Chinese people?
I don't care about the Chinese the same way the Chinese don't care about the U.S. How about that?
Oh, wow. I didn't know you're such a patriot, Josh.
What do you mean patriot? Like what?
You're such a United States backer. Like you back everything the U.S. says.
I didn't say that.
Nah.
When did I say that?
Like Gabriel would be way more inclined to back the United States than Josh.
No, it's what do you call it? Here's my opinion about how much I back the United States. The last legitimate war we've been in was Korea. After Korea, the United States has been in a lot of unprovoked, unnecessary, stupid wars. Maybe besides Serbia. That's questionable. But every other war the United States has been in is completely out of the line.
Plus Ukraine.
Ukraine is not out of the line because we're not directly involved.
But we are, though. We're literally giving them what they need to fight. Like
giving someone weapons is not being is not the same as giving troops.
Bro, if you give somebody a gun to go into a fight, how is that not being involved? Josh,
something called
tell me
proxy warfare.
Tell me this.
Okay. I gotta see if I'm actually streaming this shit.
Let's put this into like really like simple terms. Not even war. Like say me and you are ops, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're my enemy, Josh.
I'm your enemy?
If I see you on the street, it's done. Right?
So so hang on. Let's put this into.
I heard from a little birdie that you have some type of like weapon that can hurt me, like a Glock or some sort of like crazy weapon, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go to somebody who doesn't like you as well, and I'm gonna ask for a weapon. Is that person that gave me the weapon not to you? Because their intention is for me to use it to attack you.
This is not the way. So
how does that make sense? How does it not make sense? I feel like it's just stupid.
Yeah. Russia invading Ukraine is stupid. And this is the way the world works. Proxy warfare. Every time you hear some guys say, "Oh, NATO's getting directly involved in Ukraine," all they're doing is sending weapons over, which we've always been doing. Both sides has been doing since forever. Russia's been sending arms to Afghanistan, to Syria, to the Palestinians. They've been spreading the weapons anywhere where there's a conflict. So have we. That's like saying, literally, Russia's getting directly involved in Syria, directly involved.
Exactly. So we're pretty much indirectly fighting a war.
Yes.
With Russia constantly.
Indirectly.
Constantly. Right?
Yes. This is the way what do you call it? This is the way the world works. This is the way foreign affairs work. Every time there's a war, two opposing sides support their allies. And
I just like to say that we're at war with Russia, honestly.
We're not at war with Russia.
We are. Indirectly, we are.
Indirectly.
We literally are. You literally just admitted it. You said that Russia supplied Afghanistan with weapons.
Yes.
And who were we fighting in Afghanistan?
The Taliban. The Taliban with Russian weapons is not the same as fighting Russia itself.
Niggas in your chat speaking Russian, bro. What the fuck?
Mason, how you feel about this?
I mean, I agree with how you came to that conclusion, but also it is normal for countries to support the other countries that they're allied with when they're at war with each other.
What did you just say?
What do you mean? Support. What did I just say?
Support, bro. They're supporting their allies.
But that's how it works. So just because the United States is giving Ukraine weapons to fight Russia, Russia's not going to look at that and go like, "Oh, the United States is doing," like that's just how it works all the time. So when we're at war with whoever, like Korea, like China gave Korea weapons to fight us, but we're not at war with like China. We didn't look at that and go like, "Oh, let's fuck up China too," since they're trying to help us. Like that's how individuals think.
Because China is like, they have sources. Like we need China. Like at the end of the day.
Yeah,
but they helped Korea when we were at war with Korea.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. Well, okay, actually, the difference in times, it was different in times, but yeah, China got directly involved in North Korea. They sent 2 million soldiers across the border from the Yalu River, which is the border between China and North Korea. The Chinese sent 2 million soldiers over, while we only had a few 100,000. And they pushed the NATO nations, NATO, back to the 38th parallel, and then some more. So that's actually getting directly involved. If we sent 2 million soldiers into Ukraine, then I would say, yes, we're getting directly involved. But just because we're sending like a couple Ukrainian soldiers, M4A1s, it's not literally being like American troops on the ground. Like, we're training Ukrainians to drive our equipment, but us ourselves are not driving our equipment in Ukraine. That's the difference. And it's the same thing. We have North Korea has been shipping weapons to Russia. Is North Korea then directly involved in Ukraine? No. Iran has been sending drones over to Russia to fight Ukraine. Is Iran directly involved? No. This is the way foreign affairs work. This is the way the world works. Whether you agree with it or not, this is reality. And the reality is the only people directly involved is Russia and Ukraine.
From Russia, guys.
That's going crazy.
What the fuck is going on?